Hello, everybody. Welcome back to All Things Lisa W. Today, we are going to talk about a very interesting subject. But before we do, let me just welcome two new subscribers to our village. We have Barbara Ann, and this is an inside joke. Barbara Ann, don't turn my nerves up. She's laughing right now. And then we also have Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Both of you all, welcome so much. We are so happy to have you all too, as an addition to our channel. Got that out of the way, and I also wanted to say this. When I went to the grocery store, I bought these. They're dates, okay? I have never had dates in my life, but I had heard a lot of stuff about them on TV. And it was like really good. You know, these things are really good for you, all the nutritional value they have, the fiber, all these things. So when I went to the grocery store, I grabbed this pack. This is y'all. When I looked, I saw that there was no fat in them. But the thing is about dates, they have a lot of natural sugar in it, and that's why you get that sweet, chewy. But if you put these with like some cashews or some peanuts or even some almonds, you're talking about a good healthy snack. These are delicious. Now I'm going to always buy dates. Again, I never had them before, but I'm going to always buy dates. These are delicious. Just don't eat too many of them in one sitting because of the natural sugars. It's a high count. Okay. So again, how everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing good today. But today, and if you see me glancing over here, I just made a few notes so I can remember to, and not to forget, rather, to say these things that I think that are very important. I was thinking about this, right? And when I was thinking about it, I said, "Oh, I gotta share this with the village. I gotta make a video about this." Today's video is about not only women, but today's video is about men too. So we're gonna talk about both. And the subject, y'all ready for the subject? It's being alone. So I'm going to ask a question, and it's a rhetorical question because I can't hear you. So I'm not even thinking I'm going to get an answer or reply. But are you alone? How long have you been alone? When I say alone, I'm speaking of you're not married, you don't have a spouse, you're not with you alone. How long has it been? You all already know that I have been alone now since my husband went away. And I may preface it by saying since my husband left, because some people, they don't want to hear the D word, so I'll just say since he left, okay? Some people are alone and they are lonely. And whether you know it or not, that's the difference between the two. One is alone. Some people can be alone and they fine. Some people have been married and multiple times and they say, been there, done that. I don't want to deal with it ever again. So that's one group of people. But then there are people who they are alone now because they are widows or widowers. They are alone because they've never found that one special person that they want to spend the rest of their life with. For different reasons, they are alone. Their spouse, like I said, their spouse is no longer here. So in a lot of instances, we are, as women, we get lonely. I get lonely. It's nothing wrong with saying, again, I said, this channel, all the judgment is away. We're not dealing with judgment like you gonna admit that. Yes, I get lonely. I'm alone and I get lonely. So having said that, some people are sick and tired of being alone. They said, I've been there, I've been alone too many years. I want to find me somebody. I want a husband. I want a wife. I'm tired of being alone. Like Al Green said, I'm so tired of being alone. That's how they feel. And I don't think it's bad. Who would think it's bad to say that you want somebody to spend the rest of your life with? You want somebody you can talk to. You want companionship. You want just somebody to share your life with. There's nothing bad about that. There's nothing wrong in that desire. But I will say this. Sometimes when we are so lonely, our main focus becomes, I got to go get a husband. I got to find me a wife. I'm tired of this. I got to find me a wife. And then you go rush out. And when you do, I think, and this is just my opinion, I can only give you my opinion. Sometimes a person can get so lonely that they teeter or on the verge or the edge of almost becoming desperate. Did y'all hear me when I said you can become so lonely, women and men, that there is the fear is that you may be becoming desperate. And that's not a good place to be. That's not a good space to be in. Because what happens is this. You're so desperate. And I'm not being insulting when I'm saying that. We're having a conversation. You're so desperate to have love. You're so desperate to have a woman, to have a man, that when you just go out and rush out, and then when you see things that's not right with this person, that you said, I'm gonna date him or I'm gonna date her. Sometimes red flags is waving everywhere. I mean, danger sounds, danger warnings are everywhere. But you know what you do because you really want a man so bad, or you really want a woman so bad, you ignore all of that. You turn a blind eye to it. You don't want to see it because your goal and your focus is, I don't want to be, I'm tired of being lonely. I'm getting me somebody. Turning a blind eye is never good. Again, I got another song pop up in my head. Tamar Braxton has a song, and it's called Blind. And in the song, I think that's the beginning of the song, rather. I think it's the beginning of the song. Yeah. She said, I'd rather go blind than to see you with her. I'm done with your lies, but I can't say goodbye. So I'd rather go blind. So listen to those words. She said, I'd rather go blind than to see you with her tonight. So already she see that he is cheating. He was somebody else. She said, I'm done with your lies. Already he lying to her. But the last two verses where it says, the lyrics where it says, I can't say goodbye. So I'd rather go blind. So basically in that song, she said, I'm going to turn a blind eye to it because I don't want to see it. I just want to be with somebody. I just want you. See, that's why I said it's dangerous to rush out and do that, because sometimes when we rush out, you find something. You find something. But hear me when I say there's something ain't about nothing. Let me say that again. Sometimes when we rush out because we're so lonely and then we become desperate, you may find something, but there's something ain't about nothing. So that's why I always say it's so important that we keep those emotions in the right place. Yes, it's nothing wrong to say that I get lonely sometimes. But you don't want to rush out here and take anything that comes your way because you thinking loneliness is bad. You go get the wrong man or the wrong woman, you ain't seen nothing bad yet. You see? So that's the conversation that I'm having, because I have a circle with relatives, friends who are not married, who's single, been single for many years. And I'm sure that they experience loneliness too. But the thing is, again, loneliness and desperation, two different things. Okay? Let me also say this. I was married for 27 years. My husband and I were together, though, ever since we were teenagers. So I would say over 40-some years we were together, but married for 27. I honored Our marriage, out of that 27 years of marriage, not one time that I ever become unfaithful to my husband. Not one time that I ever become inappropriate with any man in any way, because I honored my marriage and I honored my husband. Now, when my husband left, and people would come to me and they would say, as a matter, they're trying to console me now. Lisa, it's gonna be okay. You're still young. One day you're gonna maybe find another husband. My daughters can attest to this. I didn't let the person know who was saying these things. It was more than one person. I didn't let them know how upset I was when they said that. Because in my head at the time, you grief hits you in so many ways. In my head at the time, I thought, how disrespectful, how dishonoring to his memory. How could you say that I'm gonna find me another? I would never get married. Oh, I was adamant. I'll never get married again. I would never be somebody else's wife. Never, never. Now, this is one thing I can say. When it came down to our love for each other, anybody that knew my husband would say, man, that man loved him some wife. He loved Lisa. Every time you turn around, you're talking about Lisa, 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 Lisa. And all the people who know me, which is a lot of them is looking at me on this video now, they could tell you Lisa loved her some husband. Tony Braxton said, I love me some him. I love me some him. But having said that, oftentimes now that the grief has dissipated, I know that it's when it came down to marriage, when it came down to the wedding day, when it came down to me having that beautiful wedding that most of us as girls always, when we young girls, we think of the beautiful wedding, the beautiful dress, the bridesmaids, what your color's gonna be, how your cake gonna look, all those things. I thought of those too. And I will be honest and say that today I look back and I feel like I cheated myself. Not that I cheated myself with my husband, but I never had that wedding. I never had that beautiful day. I never had that day where everybody was all over me and I was the big deal. You know how a bride, when she's getting married, everybody's like, okay, you got to get your nails done. We got to get them in one. You got to get your toes done. Oh, you got to get your hair done. We got to get the dress. Everything is all so beautiful. I didn't have that. Now, some people may be looking at this and say, well, a lot of that stuff is overrated too, because I had that and it was overrated. And you know what? You may be true. You may be right about that. But I'm going to tell you this. One day I'm going to have it. And it don't mean it's going to be extravagant, ridiculous, spend so much money, it don't make no sense, money that I don't have. No, it's not going to be that. But it's going to be beautiful. And it's going to be a special day. The day that I never had. Of course, I made a song, and the song said the day we said I do, but I'm talking about a wedding. I look back on that, and I wish I had experienced that before, just one time in my life. So I don't feel like I did 6 years ago, because that was almost 6 years ago, that's dishonoring him to even think about getting married again. I don't feel like that no more. Because I feel like, okay, I can see myself now maybe we're finding love again. Getting married again, being somebody's wife again. But I tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not going out looking for nothing. And I am not becoming desperate. Yes, I get lonely. Like a lot of you are looking at me, yes. But you have to put that in its proper place too. You can't let that loneliness get the best of you, that you just start going out doing foolish stuff. You start going out doing things that's not going to serve you. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I guess the gist of this conversation that we having is like, men and women, I know a lot of you out there, and I know a lot of you are lonely. I get lonely too. But the thing we don't want to do, we don't want to cross over that lonely border and become desperate. That's when the trouble comes up. Okay? That's all I wanted to say to you all today. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And I just want to tell you all about those dates. Again, welcome to the village, Boran and Lisa. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down. You all have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day and do it on purpose, okay? Bye-bye.